Okay guys, we made it to the nature trail. We've been walking for a little, but we made it to this area where these little fish bite the skin off your feet. Oh. They're all coming to my feet. Oh, there's a big one. And after this, we'll go back to that house and I'll show you it. Guys, right here, there's a cool black bird, as you can see.
They're called like a snake bird?
Yeah, I don't really know what they're called. But we're gonna start heading over to that other house and we'll show you. And then we'll see some other cool stuff. You can see over there, there's a big island. We're on the bay still. And I'm not really sure if you guys can see, but there's a bunch of little fish and coral over there. It's pretty cool. Okay, now we're gonna go, before we go to the house over there, we're gonna go to this cool bridge and we're gonna feed the parrotfish there. As you can see over there, I zoomed in a little too much, there's a cool immigrant boat. And if you don't know what an immigrant boat is, it's basically where these people from like Cuba and stuff come over here and they leave the boat and run away. So then some people take it to museums. There's a cool kayak ramp that goes into the bay area, which is really cool. And I'm sure you can catch a lot of like little crabs and stuff here. And there's a bunch of mangroves. So now we're gonna go to the bridge. It's right up here. I don't know if you can see this, but over here you can go snorkeling, kayaking, all out here, which is really cool. I don't know if you can see it too good. Unfortunately, they took the food away for feeding the fish. But I'm gonna zoom in to see if you can see. Because I can't see it on the phone, but there's a whole big school of fish right there. Again, I'm not sure if you guys can see, but under this dock over there, there's a bunch of fish and some parrotfish that are going into the mangroves. And there's some fish on that rock. There's a lot of fish under this bridge, I'm sure. And it's pretty clear out today, so we can see most of them. Okay, so now we're at the house. Now, I'm not sure if there's people living here. There's probably not, but I'll just show you around. See how there's like doors and stuff? But we'll just go over here. Over the summer at this nature park, there's camps. So maybe they eat lunch here and stuff, or you can eat lunch here. There's a ramp up there and there's like a cool garden and courtyard area. There's Lily and Daisy. And then you just want to relax and look at the water. And there's bathrooms in there. And that's pretty much the whole house. There's rooms up there and stuff. And yeah. Okay, so the next stop, we might go on one thing before that, I'm not really sure, but we're going to a Native American house. It's made out of like mud and clay and it's really cool. Over here there's this huge tree, which would seem pretty fun to climb, but right now I'm not really going to do that. I'm not going to walk over there, but there's another immigrant boat, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so we're going to the Adderley house, which is pretty cool. And once we're done with the whole nature trail, there's this museum that I will go through and I'll show you all the cool stuff in it. So as you can see right here, this is a certain kind of cactus, but look how there's not any spikes on it. I don't know what species this is, but it's a pretty cool one. Okay, down here is this little trail that goes to benches where you can see the water. It's pretty nice. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could swim here, but I don't think they recommend to. It's pretty cool. It's shallow and stuff. There's a school of minnows over there. And yeah. Over here is the same species of cactus I showed you, just a lot bigger. All those green hanging things, like these are the pieces of the cactus. Okay, so right here is like a cool bridge that they made. And there's like a stream. Pretty strong it looks like. And then it'll pass through, it goes to the ocean. There's another one of those. The currency's not as strong. And it doesn't have that metal thing over there, but it's still pretty cool. And it's a little smaller. Okay, so here there's not the same kind of cactus because you can see there's spikes. These are actually called triangle cactuses. And I don't think they grow as big, I'm not really sure. But they're still pretty cool. Okay guys, we made it to the Adderley house. So there's like a little shed here. This might be a little newer compared to the regular house. But there's like these cool bottles and stuff, medicine, alcohol, stuff like that. Okay, here's like an old well that they must have covered up. It's pretty cool. I'm sure it goes really deep, and the people who used to live here would just come out, get their water right here, and it'd be really easy. Okay, we're going in. So here, I don't know why those are there, but there's these old chairs, and then over here is this old bed, which I would not lay on. It even has old clothes, old lady clothes. And then you go over here, there's another bedroom with like storage. Maybe where they ate dinner was over here. It wasn't that bad of a house for how old it was. And if you look at the wall, you can tell it's not made by concrete. Okay, now we're going on this one trail called the Bahama Trail. We've been on it many times. And after it rains, it floods so bad that you can't even walk on it. But luckily, it's not flooded. Louie's leading the way, and on this trail, hey, Louie, on this trail there's a bunch of rocks, so it's hard to walk over. And there's a triangle cactus here. It's pretty cool. This trail almost isn't even a trail. I mean, if this could look like we're just in a regular forest or jungle, in my opinion. Over here, I don't really know if you can see, but there's a tree knocked down. It was either from a storm or they were just clearing out the area. Not really sure, but it's pretty cool.
It's so low.
Okay, right here, if you can see that, that's a huge spider I almost just walked into. As you can see, guys, this is not a part of the water. This is the trail. So we gotta walk through this. Okay, guys, we've made it through. So now you believe me on how much it floods. Look how muddy it is right here.
You're walking.
Louie's gonna lead us. Okay, so usually you can either keep going on the Bahama Trail or the Raccoon Run, but we can't go on here because it's all flooded, like really flooded. So we're just gonna go on the Raccoon Run now. We are still walking on the trail. It's been around 10 minutes, but it's a pretty nice trail. Okay, I'm pretty sure that the trail is almost over. I'm not sure. Then we get back out to the main trail and we'll try to go to the bird exhibit. Okay guys, the trail's about to be over, then we're gonna go to the bird exhibit and we're gonna see all the cool birds. Okay, so we made it to the wild bird rescue. So they rescue birds that are all hurt and stuff. And there's even an eagle named Rita. Here there's a bunch of pelicans, which are really cool. One up there even. Over here, I'm not sure if you can see, but there's these birds. They're called shorebirds, so I'm pretty sure they go by the shore. Over here, these are called raptors. I don't know why I'm making that noise, but pretty cool. This is called a turkey vulture because you can kind of see at the top it looks like a turkey. Pretty cool. Whoa, here's a bald eagle. It's hurt. It's missing a wing. I don't know if you can see it, but here's a better clip of her. And I think she's missing like a piece of her wing, so she can't fly that good. But she's really cool. There are wading birds. They're like the ones that pick all the insects after it rains. I don't know why that one looks different, but they're still pretty cool. Okay, we're gonna go back to the main area, and then I'll show you guys the museum, and then we're gonna end the video. Okay, before we go to the museum, we're gonna go in this cool house, and I think this is the house. They have a bunch of cool conchs in here that I'll show you. So they kind of took a lot of the conchs out because they're decorating for Halloween. They must be doing something in here, but this is like a glass container of all different kinds of conchs. This one is really pretty. This one's pretty cool too. I forgot that they had all of these out here. And this one is really cool. It's like a starfish and a conch. This one is huge. This one has like cool bumps on it. This is a pretty big clam, as you can see. These are some skeletons of a certain, I don't know, maybe bird. This is a bird, and I don't know what this is. They're really cool. Okay, so before we go to the museum real quick, I forgot to take a video of this. There are these really big tortoises that I'm about to show you. They're falcata, and they're probably pretty old, like 20 maybe. Here's the first one, which is cool. This one's huge. And then they're not together, maybe they just don't get along. Here's the second one. And now we'll go to the museum. Okay, so right here is a cool map of the Keys. And then this is a native boat. And then over here is these cool bottles and cannon. Over here is some antiques and stuff. Some more, like this was to an anchor, which is really cool. A model. And then over here, I think you just learn a bunch of cool stuff. It's more for little kids, but still pretty cool. And then there used to be a lot more stuff here, but they must be making these coming soon, which will be cool, but gotta wait till 2026. Some models of alligators, crocodiles too. Oh, this isn't real, I don't think, but it's still pretty cool. These might be real because they're in a case. These are whale skulls, which are really cool. Alligator or crocodile skull. And a other bunch of cool shells and corals. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun. And that's pretty much it. Bye. Okay guys, we made it to the spot where we're gonna go walk in this really cool nature trail. Let's get to it.